No, pranams, Maharaj. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And Rupanuga for cleaning something, his spectacles. All right. Dear devotees, Prema Sindhu Prabhu, early in the morning, in the night in South Africa. And Sri Rupa Devidasi, Seva Rupa Devidasi, early in the morning. And we were with your sister and her husband yesterday, so that was a happy surprise for both of us, for each of us. And Anu Krishna Devidasi, all the way over there in Brazil, and Leela Moy Prabhu, over there in Brazil, Dana in Florida, Priyanana, St. Petersburg or nearby, and Praneshwari Devidasi, I will think, I have to make it bigger. I think she's maybe in, at least digitally, Vasana or Nandagram. Vasana.
Yes, Maharaj. Varsana.
Vasana is my guess. Yeah.
Yes. Varsana. Beautiful, beautiful Varsana.
And no people. Very good. Vasana is a very busy temple. It is the temple of Radharani's father, which means it's where Radharani grew up in Vasana. And Dana, yes, message she's sending. Hare Krishna with her flowers and some things which I can't quite see. Well, a heart, flowers, and obeisances.
And a peacock, Maharaj.
Oh, peacock, okay. Somehow it doesn't show on my Mac. All right. And, okay. We are with Indulekha and Kalikaramba on Facebook. They've each sent a little obeisances. There may be others there who I can't see. So anyhow, at the very beginning of our morning program, we're very happy to be in such good association with you on Instagram. No, are we on Instagram? No, Zoom and Facebook.
Yes,
and
Maharaj.
Those of you who are seeing the recording, we're with you likewise. So we're all together. Let us first give obeisances because we want to and we should do. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And then Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Kain Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, I said it wrong because I'm doing something else. Hare Krishna. Let us start again. Let us not make a mashup of it. Sorry, I'm doing something else. If you want to know, I'm sitting cross-legged on a swivel chair, but it's wanting to swivel away, which is when I'm sitting here doing this, it's turning me well away. So that threw me off. Please excuse. So let us start our Vandanam again. And this way we'll hopefully succeed to say it correctly. All right. So Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So good morning and good evening, one and all. We are here happily, and just making a little adjustment for the table. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Just made a little adjustment for the chair and the table because the table was rocking. So, dear devotees, I am at your service. How may I be of service? Microphone, Praneshwari.
We have Ashapurna Devidasi here.
We
and
do?
She always has very special comments.
So you're putting her on the spot, but she's a happy soul to be put on the spot and face a challenge, I know. Yes, Ashapurna, please.
Dandavats, Dandavats Maharaj.
He's a wonderful preacher.
Oh, Jai Gurudev. I don't really know what to say. Something I feel like I've been thinking of lately is how, I don't know, I've just been seeing how much, without even realizing, I feel, without even realizing, like, I think there's still some, I mean, how do I explain it? just been feeling more by some grace that, you know, there's some, not only are we conscious, but there's always our guardians are conscious of us. And and yeah, and how everything's like a gift that's been given to us. I've been really trying to drill that into me, because I think I've been seeing how, like, you know, oh, it's something special in me or something, but like actually it's all just, you know, descending, and it's such a gift. Like there's this quote from Srila Goswami Maharaj that I shared online recently. I haven't put it on Facebook yet, but basically saying how, like, you know, our safe position is as aspiring servitors, and, you know, we're not guaranteed this, guaranteed that, we don't got this, we don't got that, but that aspiration itself is everything, and it's coming from our guardians. And yeah, just that, yeah, anyway.
And it's something similar to what we were saying one or two times ago in the Back to Basics about when we offer our food, the process of offering food, the process of devotion, cooking, preparing, everything, purchasing or growing it, cooking, preparing, offering, that's our duty. And whether the Lord accepts it or not, then we are doing not only our duty, it's our consciousness to do that. And so all of these things, it's not that we have to have something from the Lord in return or anything else. It's just a natural thing to do. And so, yes. Very good, Ashapurna D. And are you in the temple there, Salt Lake City?
No, I've been in New Jersey.
Oh, you're in New Jersey. Okay, right.
Everybody. But not in my heart.
For those who don't know America, it's quite wide, as it turns out. So Salt Lake City and New Jersey are a little bit of a distance away. When we're far away from America, we think, oh, everywhere's just close to each other, but not quite so. But as you said, we can be there by heart and close by heart. Thank you. And Ashapurna, if something comes to mind, you can raise a hand, and during the program also, of course. But perhaps today we can give a little opportunity for Anu Krishna did it to share something, whether she wants to do now or give herself a couple of minutes, because she also is very awake and clear about Krishna consciousness, why we're doing it, and she must have something to share, I think.
Dhanavad, Gurudev, Dhanavad, everyone. Actually, I think I'm not in my best mood lately. And Gurudev, you always know when we have something in our hearts. And this week has been a little tough because one of my dearest friends here, she studied with me the whole college, and her mother, this week she was with her mother at the hospital. Her mother is still in hospital because she was shot by her ex-husband.
Oh.
And it doesn't seem like it's been really hard for the whole family, because it was something really violent, and I feel like I'm quite scared. It's not related to me, but directly to me. But I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of angry. I'm really angry, and this is something that has come up to my mind today when we were at the institute, and I don't know how to deal with this anger of someone who did this. Something that is terribly wrong, and the family has been threatened lately. The girls and the grandmother. The grandmother, she's an old lady, and they all have been threatened by the family of the criminal, and it's been hard to try to be helpful. And I know in theory, that every wave can be favorable. I try to be Krishna conscient, but it's hard to apply it in practice, not to be angry with this, and not to be dominated by anger, by fear, or by sadness. And I don't. Sorry, Gurudev. Sorry to bring this.
Oh dear. I know, Krishna, it is very painful. And Mahaprabhu himself, he showed his sadness when there was something unfortunate happened. And of course, those days wasn't shooting and wasn't quite this same circumstance. But when somebody's son, when Advaita Acharya's son passed away, when Srinivas Acharya's son passed away, there were different occasions when the son, Mahaprabhu, showed bereavement, and he showed like emotion as we are feeling in this world. So it is not that we're stone-hearted and we sit back and we think, okay, everything is the will of Krishna, and we don't have feelings. But at the same time, like you say, we are trying to see it in the Krishna conscious way. And one of the difficulties, being shot and being threatened, I mean, this is a heavy thing. And unfortunately, you're not alone. I mean, there are unlimited numbers of families and so many disturbances, especially in Kali Yuga, where these things happen. But gradually we must, or gradually or quickly, we may try quickly, but it may be gradually, then our heart will try to heal and adjust things. Like you said, we know in theory, but the putting it into practice, it can be very difficult. But when there's pain in the body, then there's obviously pain. You know, the skin is cut, it's open, you've gone to the hospital, you need to get stitches. And it's not that within one moment everything is healed up and the pain has gone. But in due course, we all know that sooner or later, I mean, generally for this kind of thing, the pain will go. But our adjustment in Krishna consciousness, like you're doing, we shall try to do. And it will be so helpful to do what we do in all circumstances, which is to try to regularly read Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, chant our japa. And on another side is, you know, if somebody steals from you, so this is not about the pain of being shot and threatened of life or anything, but when somebody steals from you, then it is a very common reaction to be like being so angry at the thief and what are they thinking? And then you go into the mentality of the thief. So you sort of start to chew the mentality of the person who's doing wrong. But we need to try to chew the mentality of the saintly persons. Actually, I can say really Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, who will, I mean, really be shocked by something for little time and then give some adjustment to it from the side of, well, you know, we have to tolerate everything and see what this world is. And it is a test for everybody involved in this case and in many cases. It's not only like a thief is two people, the one who stole and the one who's stolen from. And then others, they probably just say, oh dear, or claim on insurance or do something like that. But we are in the world where we have to make the adjustment, you know, bit by bit. And so you are well equipped. But when these things happen close to us, then you see how much horrible it is and a reminder of this world. But just, it's not an instruction to see the news, because I don't see the news, but when we used to see the news, I mean, how many nasty things happen every day. And in our own experience in the world and experience of those that we know close to us in the world, like your experience, then there's a long list of nasty things that have happened to people that we know and people, you know, all sorts of things that we've seen. So it is a reminder that this world is unfortunately a bit of a nasty place. Now, the scriptures are always telling us this, but we are a little difficult to be convinced. So sometimes these things happen close to us, and then when it's close to us, then we start to get convinced. But we really need to understand this is not our home. And actually, the best thing you can do for everyone, your friend, her mom, and everybody involved, and the grandmother, is to try to help them take shelter of the Lord. And if they're Christian, they have their Christian faith, everything is fine. It's all in the journey, the faithful journey home, faith in the Lord. And, you know, the ism side, you know, how it is that we will go, then we're happy that they have faith here or faith there, but faith in the Lord, and then to try to take his shelter, accept his guardianship. And that guardianship, it is about ourselves as opposed to fully the body. We can't always pray, you know, if somebody's old, for instance, or they're terminal disease, you know, don't let them die. It's about, you know, the body is going to go through the body things, but the person in the body needs to take shelter of the Lord. There is one person who is in much difficulty. This is not being shot, but with cancer. There's one devotee, and we know that devotee well, in difficulty. And I can't do anything. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say, you know, how are you for your health? What's the point when somebody's sick? You know, when we are sick and somebody is always saying, how are you? We don't want to think about it. We want to think about we're not the body, we're something else. So this person, then I'm always, when I ask, you know, I'm asking, so how is your Krishna consciousness? And actually, he's very, you can say brave, but in another sense, it is brave. Yes, he is very brave. But in another sense, he's had a little time to adjust to the fact, really, I'm not my body. This is happening and it's going to break down quite soon. It's known. But he said, no, I'm fine. And actually, he said, I've never been better. Now I have nothing else to do really in this world but to focus on reading, and actually reading Prapanajivanamritam, finding great solace in Prapanajivanamritam, which you're reading at the Bhakti Yoga Institute, the Srila Govinda Maharaj Bhakti Yoga Institute in Ubalandia. So he's taking much shelter there. But you see, every circumstance is different. And there are so many, anyway, it's just that the world is like this. But when it happens, when unfortunate things happen close to us, then it really is shocking. But gradually, at least you can say, we know how to take shelter. We've got the prescription. And so we'll try this way. But that doesn't mean stone-hearted, hard-hearted. Not at all. Mahaprabhu, his associates, they all had heart. Gurudev had heart. Guru Maharaj had heart. We were with them. We know it. We saw that. And not only had heart, they had more heart than the average person in the world. But they were able to, and because they were so rich in heart, they were able to give heart-to-heart transaction, famously. Famously, Gurudev says, but Srila Guru Maharaj also says this. And of course, Srila Gurudev is speaking with this voice of Srila Guru Maharaj, and the best person to speak with the voice of Guru Maharaj. I mean, really, this is the case. And they were extremely hearty, but they were so rich with heart that the suffering of this world kind of did seem to quickly diminish when people came to him in difficult circumstances. Hare Krishna. And anyway, there's no consolation to know of others that have been shot. And actually, others, not the devotee, but his son was shot dead a few years ago in Australia, another one. I mean, sorry to say, these things happen. But in the newspapers, I don't know what the statistics are, but you can see the statistics for all sorts of different crimes, and many crimes are domestic crimes, unfortunately. It's Kali Yuga. It's Kali Yuga, and people don't understand about karma, the anger, the angry persons. But for us to analyze the mentality of someone who's stolen from us, somebody who's trying to harm us, somebody's trying to put us in jail, somebody who, all these things. The world is full of this wrong dealing. It's the harsh world. It's a world of quarrel. It's Kali Yuga. So with heart, we can simply advise you, Anna Krishna, indeed, to continue. There is nowhere else to take shelter of in terms of real shelter but Krishna and the devotees. And you're with devotees. May all the devotees here give you some Vaishnava support, good wishes, transmit to you some strength in these times, and some strength for your friend and their families too. Hare Krishna. And you're very brave also to tell us, to let us know, but we're grateful that you let us know. The Vaishnavas have something, and all are Vaishnava who are here. Vaishnavata, Vaishnava quality. And that can be transmitted not just by being side by side, but that can be transmitted everywhere. Oh, I just checked in the chat, some long quotes in, oh, not so long. Revealed, so Praneshri, did he? Is this?
The first one is not related to Anukrishna,
Uh,
but the other ones that have numbers 132333, they are related to her.
okay. So let me read this. This is coming from the Vaishnava's inspiration to share with you. So if you like, I can read these. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And so Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jai Shri Vyasadev ki jai. And Shri Shukadev Goswami, yes, Shukadev Goswami ki jai. All right, so Shri Shuka Uvacha. Oh dear, I'm sure he didn't cough. I'm trying not to. Anyway, now I can see. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Ityuddhavad upakaranya suridang dushahang vadham yanena shamayat kshatta shokam utpatitang buddhaha. It is Sanskrit. Shri, and the only thing I will be able to say is Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Shri Shuka Uvacha. So to the translation, Shri Shukadev Goswami said, after hearing from Uddhav all about the annihilation of his friends and relatives, the learned Vidura pacified his overwhelming bereavement by dint of his transcendental knowledge. Vidura was informed that the result of the battle of Kurukshetra was the annihilation of his friends and relatives, as well as the destruction of the Jadu dynasty, and also the passing away of the Lord. All these hurled him into bereavement for the time being. But because he was highly advanced in transcendental knowledge, he was quite competent to pacify himself by enlightenment. As it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, due to our long association with bodily relationships, bereavement on account of the annihilation of friends and relatives is not at all astonishing. But one has to learn the art of subduing such bereavement with higher transcendental knowledge. The talks between Uddhava and Vidura on the topic of Krishna began at sunset, and Vidura was now further advanced in knowledge due to his association with Uddhava. So that's Srila Prabhupada's purport. Yes, that's Srila Prabhupada's purport. Hare Krishna. And we say hurled. He was hurled. Now I lost the word hurled in here. Vidura was informed, but I lost the, yes. All about all of this bereavement, hurled him into bereavement for the time being. So it is from the scripture, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is Srila Prabhupada commenting in Srimad Bhagavatam. So may Srila Prabhupada, may Srila Guru Maharaj, may Srila Gurudev, really, may they also quickly help you by their distribution of the proper vision, their distribution of heart soothingness in their talks. May they give their grace to you, Anu Krishna Ji, as well as, of course, the assembled devotees that we asked. Hare Krishna. And we have life in us, so we have feeling. These are part of the feelings of life. And it's a terrible world. Let's get out together. And there are so many hopeful kirtans, hopeful expressions. And now I want to go to the kirtan guide, because there is a song which came to mind. Okay, here I have a song for you. I'm not going to sing because Zoom doesn't like me to sing. Plus, I'm really not going to sing it. I'm going to say it, okay? I won't list too many reasons. Okay, this song is by Srila Lochandas Thakur. It's in the songbook. It's called K Jabi. K Jabi. I mean, I don't know if that's the official name of the song. It's just the first words. And it's K Jabi Bhai, Bhava Sindhu Para. Who will go? So K Jabi. Who will go? Who will go, oh brother? Who will cross the ocean of material existence? Bhava Sindhu Para. Bhava Sindhu Para cross. Dhanya Kali Juge Re Chaitanya Avatara. The wealth and great fortune of this age of Kali is the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. Dhanya Kali Juge Re Chaitanya Avatara. And then Amara Gaurangera Ghate Ujanakea Boy. My Lord saying my Lord Gauranga. Amara Gaurangera. So Amara Gauranga, my Lord Gauranga, stands at the jetty, and the jetty is the pier where the boat, the pier or the place where you catch the boat on the side of a river. My Lord Gauranga stands at the jetty, ready to ferry his servants upstream across this material existence. Karipati nahi lage. Amani para hoy. Okay, so anyway, the two lines are not exactly, anyway, no, everything's perfect. For no charge, he is immediately taking them. Okay, so my Lord Gauranga stands at the jetty, ready to ferry his servants upstream across this material existence. For no charge, he is immediately taking them. Then Hari Namera Tarikani Shri Guru Kandari. Okay, the ferry boat is the holy names of the Lord, and the spiritual master is the captain. Then Sankirtana Keroyala Dubahu Pasari. The oars are the outstretched arms on the Sankirtan. And then last verse, Sarva Jiva, all the devotees, Sarva Jiva, Udhara, Hoilo, Premira, Batase. So the favorable wind is divine love for Lord Krishna, and all the fallen souls have been rescued on this boat. Lochana Parya, Roilo Karamera Doshe. Then the very humble last line by Lochandas. Only Lochandas is left behind due to the faults of his own misdeeds. Hare Krishna. So the last line, a little sad. The rest of it, then in this kirtan, we're getting so much like hope about this age of Kali, where we can be taken readily, freely, immediately by Mahaprabhu to the other bank, the other shore, to the place where it is not this world of suffering, but it is the place of joy. And that place of joy is only achieved by seva and the primary seva in Kali Yuga is service to the holy name, to the Vaishnavas through the holy name, to the Lord through the holy name, and especially in Sankirtan, congregational chanting. And when we can't be always with so many devotees congregationally by number chanting, then we shall be, as we can on Zoom, with devotees, and we can be still in Nama Sankirtan by ourselves with a little more effort. That is the depth of our own chanting of the names of the Lord. And we see reference to that also throughout the scripture, where the word Nama Sankirtan, the word Sankirtan is being used. Even when one is alone, they resorted to Sankirtan, which is like the full chanting of the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna. And in the Kirtan guide, then you will also find, and you know it also, you will also find many songs which are so hopeful, so wonderful, and just getting absorbed in the mood of, in this case, Lochan Das Thakur, but in the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, etc., in the mood of the songs that they're giving, the kirtans that they're giving, then this also, for the time being, at least, very much helps us forget the other things that are going on in this world around us, and can draw us to more and more remember the Lord, remember the necessity for taking his guardianship at every step. Hare Krishna. So we are all sharing in your shock, but all sending best wishes. Hare Krishna. And I'm here in London for a Seva week, but and I'm trying not to advertise it, so don't tell anybody, okay? As we speak on the internet. But I'm trying not to advertise it in the sense of we are really trying to do some Seva that we could not do, and due to being so busy with different programs and being taken everywhere the last time I was here. So we're just trying to finish up some Seva here in London. And but completely by surprise, then Seva Rupa's sister came yesterday along with her husband, and she's very lively, as is Seva Rupa, and she's a very lively representative of the family. So she came with her husband, and her husband is, I think, last time they came, which was the anniversary time, the husband was very cautious because he's not exactly, he doesn't understand about Krishna consciousness yet. So last time he came, he stayed in the car. He drove his wife, Seva Rupa's sister, he drove his wife for maybe 2 hours from North London, and London does take time to cross, believe me. For maybe 2 hours, he drove from her because she wanted to come to the temple for the festival. But he stayed in the car, and the devotees invited, please come in. But he was a bit cautious about the Hare Krishnas, not the same beliefs that he has. But this time, not so many, well, still good number of devotees were here yesterday, but not so packed. But he did come in, and we had lunch. Well, we met them just after they had lunch, and they came outside and joined us at the table. And so we've removed, as you know, the word coincidence from the dictionary. And so they came yesterday not knowing that I was here, but they were both happy. She was happy. I was happy to meet her, also Seva Rupa's sister. But the husband, he's such a nice man, and we had such a good talk. And we just hope, that he understands that we're all searching for the Lord. And so be faithful. Don't be suspicious. But where is your faith? Everyone's searching for the Lord, and he's a Christian, and he has faith, which is wonderful. So he's a bit cautious about us. But we definitely want to help everybody's faith in the search for Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful. And we may not know who is God. We may think he's an old man with a long beard. But I think most faithful persons in their whatever like religious department that they're in will come to appreciate that at least everyone is searching for the Lord. So take away any political considerations, and then we get left behind with a common search that the human is meant for taking shelter of the Lord, remembering, praying to him. And anyway, they came yesterday and we had a happy chat. And I didn't ask them, where do you think is better, South Africa or London? I think they have some fondness still for South Africa. But when you make a decision and you decide to move, especially with your children and everything, to another place, and you have to follow it through, you can't. Then you also get some idea. And oh, by the way, day before yesterday, in a similar kind of a thought just came to me, that Krishna Gopal Prabhu is here from Russia, and he's here on a missionary visa and this, that, and the other. And he's here. But he was saying about how his impression is, and coming from Russia, he said his impression is that everybody thinks that the best place in the world is England. They all say, oh, London, the best place in the world. But he said, we've come here. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, he was with his phone, with the telephone, all the way through Prashad, with the phone ringing. He said, well, please excuse, I brought this here. I'm simply trying to get something done with the British government. You know, how he's run one department, and he said, but they've already put me through to the next department. I'm just waiting for them to answer the phone. And like for half an hour, he's waiting. And this is how it came up. And he said, I thought England would be so efficient. But he said, now we've come to London, we find out, oh, well, it's just the same as everywhere else. And we had that impression of going to, by the way, going to California. We thought, oh, America's going to be so efficient. Well, sorry, Americans, but it kind of wasn't very efficient. And even Google, the home of Google and Google Maps, the navigator, it itself took us in a big circle. And then on the third time, so once and then again, then on the third time, I started thinking, this is crazy. It took us in a big circle. And that is in its own home. So you can think it might do that in the Sahara Desert or something. But Google is all invented there in California, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we know it is Silicon Valley, but lots of things. Anyway, that message is nowhere is perfect in this world. So, and in any one environment, some people are, doing quite well, and then some people are suffering. And I forget how many it was. There's some huge amount of hospital beds in Milan, where we have devotees who work in the nursing and medical side in Milan, in Italy, Milano. I forget how many beds, but it was thousands of beds. And it's like they have 80% occupancy. So that's how many people are in hospital at any one time. And then on the other side, the prison houses, and how many people are in the prison in each of these cities. And that I became very aware in Riga, in Latvia. They told me they have 4 prisons in a small town or a small city. And I think, how many people live in the prison? My goodness. So between the hospitals and the prisons, then we have a reminder that the world is not all it's made out to be in the glossy advertising, in the glossy advertising in the Tatashta plane, when we are thinking, oh, that must be a wonderful place. We can exploit there and we can be masters. You see, some advertising somehow is taking place there too. So let us take refuge in our home and proceed through all the difficulties. And it comes to my mind too that Srila Gurudev, he will give the verse which we all know, Trinad api sunichena, taror eva sahishnuna, amanina manadina, kirtanya sada harihi. That this is that every event, it is so that we can be more tolerant than a tree, more humble than a blade of grass, give honor to others, not want honor for oneself. And this example of tolerance of this world, there are so many things to tolerate. And Gurudev always bringing us to this verse. We can keep this verse in our heart also. Anyhow, all of these things are to help the healing. And as we said, it's not that in a moment everything gets healed in the heart. But such is the compassion of the world, of those who are rich in heart, that even people who do abominable things, they may be excused under exceptional circumstances. But these things happen, and we have histories, well-recorded histories of terrible things happening, and then finally the family or whoever, when it comes to the punishment for this person is that they shall be hung. Now they will go to be hung, and the family themselves, they come to say, no, please don't do that. We don't wish such upon another person. So that is also very difficult to think of at this time when something nasty just happened. But within this verse, there is so much, this verse of humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. There is so much for us to go through in this life to help us be gentle to help us to be gentle with the environment and be under the shelter of the Lord. The Lord, the Lord, the Lord. He's all good, he's all perfect, and we pray to him for shelter and for ourselves and for all of those, the dear ones, those who are close and dear to us. But everyone in the world, if you are at the railway station and you see thousands of people, or hundreds depending which railway station it is, but you see so many people in the railway stations of the capital cities. But if we were to know any of them, just pick one out and get to know that person, then you'll find that, yes, we'll have compassion for them. We can relate to everybody in the world. And this is Mahaprabhu. This is the grace of Mahaprabhu. He wants the best for everyone. He's the best friend of everyone. We just have to turn our face towards him. We have to get on that boat for free. And Guru Maharaj says, almost for free. What's the charge from us? Just a little faith. That's all we need to board the boat of Mahaprabhu's gracious gift. That boat to take us to not only the other side, but all the way to the topmost place of the other side, that the residents of the Vaikuntha areas of awe and reverence, they only get a hint of that it is possible. But Mahaprabhu is taking us to that highest place of that side, in Goloka Vrindavan. where also all sorts of things happen which cause anxiety in the heart. So, you know, the life means we're going to have lots of different feelings, but of course there it is all pure, there it is all Krishna-centered, there it is all sweet. As Gurudev says, Gurudev says, at least we know this. Srila Gurudev says about the apple, the apple is happy that he's being eaten. The tree is happy that his fruit is being eaten. The Lord is happy to eat that apple. The devotees are happy to have the apple after the Lord has eaten it. So there is no exploitation. Everything is connected. And that is the beautiful current, the upward flow. That's where we belong. And we are not inventing somewhere, and it is not a mental exercise. Now, I have read something very recently, but am I able to quickly find the quote? Srila Guru Maharaj was asked something. I have to think the key word that I may find it. Oh, oh yeah, no, this is a bit, I have to give too much background to make this a relevant quote. Okay. Okay, in but one part, okay. So here, Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, and it's, anyway, Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, surrender, so Sharanagati, we've just heard about faith. So faith and surrender, they're completely linked with each other. But then he's saying about surrender. Surrender, Sharanagati, is not an attitude in inverted commas, like attitude. Okay, it's my attitude. Surrender is not an attitude. It is the innate nature of the soul. Surrender is not an attitude, like a mental state of mind. It is the innate nature of the soul. But it is covered at present by different kinds of dirt. The innate wealth, the innermost wealth of every jiva, every soul, is surrender, Sharanagati. And service means surrender. It exists on the basis of surrender. I serve, I dedicate. Dedication, service, surrender, all are similar. The nature, the very conception of the Vaikuntha world is service. And there every soul is unlimitedly surrendered, living only for the good of others. It is just the opposite here in the material world, where every unit wants to exploit another. Exploitation is in the plane of Maya, misconception. It exists only on the covering of the soul. But the innate substance of the soul is surrender, self-surrender. Okay, I'll continue this a little bit. So in the Vaikuntha world, all are mad to help their neighbor. The expression, all are mad to help their neighbor, to look after the interest of others in connection with the supreme power. That is the innate wealth, the innate nature of every unit, of everything there. All cooperation, all goodness. all cooperation at the cost of one's own life. It is the nature of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha and Goloka. How happy it is. Okay, I'll stop there. Hare Krishna. So when we hear about our happy home, then may we be more and more enthused, focused, determined to make that our goal of life. And as we hear about it, then the relativities of this world, then they get put into perspective, and this understanding helps us to get over the different pains that must come in this world. And I can absolutely see, feel, hear Gurudev's mood, if he will hear, when he would hear such kind of news as you are giving, Anukrishnaji. And we are all sharing in that and reflecting on that today. And Gurudev, he will be shocked. But he also, Gurudev saying, in Kali Yuga, so many good people, they meet so much misfortune due to the age of Kali. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Gurudev, for. I'm sorry to speak about it, and I feel like it's not about me, especially since it's not about me. It's about my friend, her mother, her grandmother, and I just feel if I want to be something, I wanted to bring this thought to you, great Vaishnavas, so you can help her anyway with good wishes. And thank you. I just wanted them to feel this strength that you are directing to me. I hope that it goes to them, so they can feel Krishna's love and affection and feel inner peace. Thank you.
They are fortunate to have you as their friend, Anukrishna. Hare Krishna. And while we are in Brazil with our thoughts today, I know we're with all of you from Australia and all the way across Ukraine and to the other side of the world. Then, but still we're in Ukraine. Just to mention Vrindavaneshri Didi, I looked online for those book stands that you have, that you found, I believe it was yourself, found on Amazon. Very simple book stands, but very practical. But here I found, but not the same, exactly the same that you found there. If you can send me the link for those book stands that you have there, it would be useful, because they probably have, but I just can't locate it on the web, and we had another devotee trying. So if Amazon have it in Brazil, they probably do have it here. But if there's like a part number or something like that, an item number, we may be able to locate it in England, and because everybody needs book stands. And these were very clever, very simple, very practical book stands. So we were looking just a couple of days ago for them. You see, we can learn from others in the Bhakti Yoga Institute, the Govinda Maharaj Bhakti Yoga Institute in Ubalandia. They have very practical book stands. When I saw them, I thought, oh, very good. And I photographed them so that I was thinking one of our devotees could make them, but at the moment we don't have such a well, we have handyman devotees, but they're busy doing handyman things.
I don't know if there was a local, how I said, people.
Manufacturer.
Yes. I'm gonna find some more like the one you see here, and I sent you in the Amazon. I'll look for. I'm gonna looking.
Just a link. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate. Not now.
So I'll send you.
Now is late at night. There,
No,
don't
but
start,
tomorrow.
don't
Okay,
start
tomorrow.
diving into Amazon and other things. Only dive into Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. And Radha Sundari Devirasi, she was on the west side of India, or they say the northern India, in Vrindavan and Govardhan. Can we get a little, the time is almost up, but Radha Sundari Devi, are you, wherever you are, if you're in a holy place, would you like to share just a glimpse of that place for a moment, if practical?
Dhanavad Maharaj, I'm at home right now, today in Mayapur.
Well, Mayapur is a holy place. Your home is a holy place.
Yes, how can I serve you?
You can show us a tree of Mayapur, of Navadip.
Okay, that I can do.
Okay. I can see a fan. Okay, so it's hot.
Yes, it's hot, but getting cooler because of the rain season. And in this time, we have like this, like a feathers, the grass like a feathers.
Grass like feathers. Yes.
It's very, very tall. I'm going to show you the trees of Mayapur on the house.
Oh, not so hot just now. It's been higher. It's been 35. I see it's just 28
Yes.
degrees in Navadip. Because it's early in the morning. It's 7:30 in Navadip. The home of our heart. But you're in a very fancy building, quite modern.
It's a Russian building.
It's a Russian building now.
This
There,
is
this is all we need. Just show us the trees.
and so many tulsis.
Oh yes, just growing there happily. Hare
And
Krishna.
champa.
Okay. Thank
Champa
you.
is being offered to the deities. They collect flowers from champa and make garlands and decorate Panchatattva and Radha Madhava. There's a big department, flower collectors in Mayapur. They do all these huge decorations for Darshanarati.
You see this tree just here, you're beside? Just stand under the tree. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are all sharing, standing under a special tree there in Mayapur, taking its birth in Mayapur. So now we are all under taking the shade of a tree in Mayapur. Okay, thank you very much. And really our heart goes to Navadip. It's the place of Mahaprabhu pastimes. Mahaprabhu never leaves from Navadip. Okay, this is a subject for another time, but it's inconceivable. But as Krishna does not leave from Vrindavan, then Mahaprabhu does not leave from Navadip. So everything there, we putting our head and our heart and appreciation. Jai Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai Shri Mayapur ki Jai Shri Antadeep. Mayapur is on the island of Antadeep. And Jai Shri Koladeep, which is where Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mata is ki Jai. So all these holy places. And this morning, seems like this morning, a long time ago, Pranesh Didi, yes, she's still here. She has the background of Varshana in Mathura Mandal. And here we have simultaneously, we've got Varshana, a photo, but still we're connected. And we have live Mayapur. Wonderful. Amazing modern science giving us this opportunity of special remembrance. Dear devotees, time to continue And oh, in the meantime, and I didn't check the Facebook after the beginning. Madhava Prabhu joined us, and Kelly's saying so beautiful, chew the mentality of the saintly persons. Yes, this is what we need to do. And Tungarasa Didi, Adachir, Hare Krishna, yes, Adachir. And Sophia and Priya Bhakta all joined us that I can see on Facebook. And to all of you here on the Zoom, to all of you who've come, listened all the way through in the recorded version, great appreciation and obeisances to each of you, and much appreciate your association and participation. Jai Shila Gurudev Om Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Om Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jai Shila Prabhupada Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Worldwide devotees Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Om. So, dear devotees.
Jai Shila Bhaktiranjan Madhusudana Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Have a successful Seva week, and we shall see you soon. And with our hearts to Anu Krishna and their family, but our hearts to each of you, to each other, this is the family progress together as a family with support and heart for each other. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Ashchi.
And thank you so much, Radha Sundari.
Yes, indeed. And to each of you, too much thank you in Gurudev's English.
Jai Hare Krishna. So special when devotees reveal their minds, they are nourished by the Vaishnavas. The way Maharaj spoke to Anu Krishna, I'm sure it went straight to her heart. And all of us, when he was talking to you, I just felt like we are hugging you. We are there with you. It's very tough circumstance. But you have to go on. You have to continue. And you have to help them. Because for them it's very difficult to understand and to accept. Jai Hare Krishna. Dandava Pranams.